Why did England erupt? This is the only programme on British television to give young people their chance to tell you. Welcome to the special Riots edition of Young Voters Question Time. The final question this evening, and this is from Joanne Thibault. Where's Joanne Thibault? Hello, Joanne.
Hi.
And, well, go ahead.
Right. When we rebuild our store, which we're hoping to do, what does the panel think the government can do to assure us, business owners and the community that this won't happen again?
Okay, now, Joanne, let me explain that you worked at House of Reeves.
Yeah, I run the office at House of Reeves, the furniture store in Croydon.
Which was burnt down.
Monday night.
Which has become symbolic of what's happened this week, and those pictures were beamed around the world, and we have some of the Reeves family. Yeah. Do you want to put your hands up, guys? Thank you very much for coming down tonight. That is a shop that survived the Blitz.
Yeah, it's been there for 144 years. 5 generations of our family have worked there. And I appreciate everybody's points. I think everyone has mentioned some really valuable things, but, you know, what do we do? I appreciate there's all these complex issues. I know it's a shop, you're right, we can rebuild it. But we didn't have anything to do with that. And we're just trying to run our business. That's something my family's done. And our shop, we watched that be scraped off the road today. So I do appreciate absolutely that there are horrible problems out there, but for us, the riots are horrendous, horrendous.
Of course, and I'm very sorry about what happened to your business. But let's come back to the point there.
Yeah, I'm going to.
The points. Let me get so we haven't heard from you for a little while. What can the government do to reassure people like that?
Well, first and foremost, can I just say how sorry and shocked all of us were when we saw what happened to your building. I think was it your dad who was on TV, he was holding back the tears and he looked like a very proud man, so I'm really sorry to see what happened. I think there's the practical stuff that we can do. There's the kind of supporting you. I was pleased to see the government saying they were going to back up people who didn't have insurance, because I've been talking to local shopkeepers in Walthamstow who don't have insurance, who are really frightened about what they're going to do, and it's helping you rebuild. But for you to want to rebuild, you've got to have confidence not only that the streets are going to be safe, but there's going to be a community of people out there who are going to come and want to buy your goods. And that's why there's what we do in the next couple of days. We've got to get London calm again. We've got to make sure that order is back on our streets. And there's what we do in the coming months and years, because actually rebuilding that community is going to take time. It's not a choice between family or community, it's both. It's not a choice between investing in these kind of services and supporting local businesses and supporting young people. Yeah. It's about how we do the two things together, because then you've got the young people who can get on and make good choices in life. They can get good jobs, they can come and buy your furniture for their homes because they can get ahead in life, and we can get their contribution. Because actually what really frustrates me when people talk about young people in this context is they only talk about the riots and they don't see also that we've got to make sure young people make good choices because of all the talent and potential they have. My area, like Croydon, has lots of bright, talented young people, and they deserve opportunities. They deserve consequences when they behave badly, and they deserve incentives to behave well. And that's what we've got to get this government to understand, because then you've got customers and we've got a society worth fighting for.
Part of that young lady's question there was how she would like to know this wouldn't happen again.
She wants reassurance from the government that it won't happen again.
And the only way you can really get that is if you think the government really think of some radical ideas of changing things up.
Like what?
Well, I'll go back to education again, because I think this one-size-fits-all education system, it doesn't work. Okay, I'll tell you a situation like myself. I strongly believe that young people, let's be real, it was madness the other night. It was madness. Like, it was madness, and I just think it's wrong, innit? And I'm telling all the people out there, calm down. Calm down, because from time you're setting fire to shops and people...
Of course, I always want, because there's so much talent and so much ideas out there in our young people, and that's why I want to make sure we have the support that you guys need. We need our police, which is why they shouldn't be cut, and we need support and investment in our youth services, but so that you guys can make the choices you can make. Because listening to you all that energy, all the energy that you've got tonight, because your jobs, Yeah, there's 50,000 unemployed young people in London. And we need to get a system in place to get jobs for you so that you can make those choices. But if you make those choices, we can do something.
Okay, Adam, you're going to have to be quick, remember?
Yeah, I'm just saying, basically, you know, I believe that young people, you know, going back to your thing about role models and positivity, there's so many young people doing positive stuff, but, you know, media have got a lot to answer for as well. We get called chavs, feral youth, all the time we're getting called these names, right? No other classes really get that as much as the young people, you know, chavs all the time, you know, they're hoodies, they're hooligans, but we never actually dwell on the positive stuff, you know? There's a lot of positive kids out there.
Guys, we've got long left. Shaun, what have you learned tonight listening to this audience?
Sitting here reminds me that young people are alive, they're sharp, they see what's going on. I like your point about the millions of active, positive young people in there. And also, you're right to bring up the Mark Duggan thing, because that's very serious. If you want to rebuild community, that issue, and I don't just mean that individual, I mean that issue needs to be relooked at. I absolutely accept that.
Move on.
Yeah, but listen, I don't think cutting the police for me.
Can't cut the police.
I'm not that. Listen, the riots that we've had, the police couldn't have stopped.
All right, let's go. Sheldon, what have you learnt?
Of course they could have stopped it, bro.
Adam. Stop, guys, come on. We only got minutes left. I want to hear what the panel have learnt tonight. Sheldon.
For me, I've realised that, you know, a lot of young people still have that passion, still got the fire, still got the creativity, still got the ideas, but what's really my concern is that we're all in this room here today. For the last 2 years, there's been over 20 murders of young people. Yet, we don't hear that same fire and passion in trying to find answers for why the killings are going on in our community. So I think for me, no disrespect, my prayers go out to you, sister, that your shop's been burnt down. I'm totally against that. But what I don't understand is how we think killing each other is okay, but when a shop gets burnt down, no disrespect, we want to sit and hold a national inquiry about shops burnt down when a couple months ago, a 14-year-old was chased on his bike, stabbed 17 times. 6 months previous to that, a girl was gang raped. So my question is, how isn't society?
Sheldon, you have made this point earlier. We've got to move on.
Yeah,
Kate, what have you learned?
I think there still does need to be an inquiry about why this all happened, to try to get to the root causes of the problems. There's lots of unanswered questions here today. Don't cut the police. And I think there's been some great ideas about community issues and role models. They need to listen to the young people.
No, just a minute. People have been listening tonight. The panel have listened to you. We can't hear from every single person several times. Let me just go back to the House of Reeves guys over here, the members of the family, and I know you worked at the shop there. Tell me just your thoughts. You've heard what the people have said. You wanted some kind of reassurance. Have you heard anything here that has reassured you at all?
I think it's so complicated, and I know that this is going to take a long time to sort out, but perhaps today the thoughts that everyone has put forward, you know, help us to make some headway and make sure that this won't happen again, not just for businesses, but for communities and families and young people, but all communities, for everyone.
How are the rest of your family?
They are okay. I think it's been, you know, it's horrible.
I know, but look. Wait, leave it there.
It's not disrespect. It's not a disrespect.
Ladies and gentlemen, calm down.
It's not a disrespect.
We're out of time. We're out of time.
I'm not disrespecting anybody.
We're leaving it there. Thank you. Thank you. It is a question we addressed earlier. Listen, that was pretty much as rowdy as we imagined it would be, but thank you. If not more so. But thank you very much, and I hope that you feel represented tonight. I got as many of you, I think, on air as it was feasible to do. Thank you. That is it for this special Riots edition of Young Voters Question Time. Thank you to our audience. Thank you to you if you joined in on Twitter. And thank you to you for watching from all of us here. Oh, and thank you to the panel as well, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Rude. And sincerely, thank you to you as well. That is it from us. Good night.